Hi guys, so today I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about youth sports and kids sports in general, and are we charged too much for youth sports in today's world? It's definitely a budget buster if you're not prepared for it. So I have 4 kids, as most of you know, and 3 out of my 4 are into sports or dance or something like that. My oldest girl, who's 16, she did basketball in first grade. After that, she was done. She doesn't like any type of sports. So but now she's kind of coming around to it, but all her years she's just not a sports person. Now she has taken piano in the past, but physical activity type stuff she's never done. So my other 3 they take basketball, baseball, jiu-jitsu, dance, and gymnastics that they have taken. They've taken soccer here and there, but those are their main sports throughout the last couple of years. So I'm just going to kind of talk about our budget for family sports and kind of what we spend as a family of 6, with 3 participating in sports activities. So I know a lot of people they have the money to afford it. They have maybe 1 or 2 kids, or even if they have 4 or 5 kids, they can afford it. Maybe this video is not for that person, but this video is just to give a maybe family just starting out with smaller kids an idea of what to expect as their child gets older, since my kids are ages 10 and up. We only do recreational sports. We do not do competitive or traveling sports at all, because that would probably triple what we pay a year, and I would be bald because I would be going insane driving kids everywhere across the world doing traveling sports. So we only do rec sports, and the kids are completely fine with that. Like I said, the kids have played jiu-jitsu, dance, gymnastics, basketball, baseball. Those are kind of like our annual sports. Jiu-jitsu is on hold right now, but the kids did that for about 3 years with their dad. The boys did. So I'm including that into the budget. So this won't include any type of summer camps or anything like that. So for jiu-jitsu, we pay about $1,200 a year, which is $100 a month. And then it was for both the boys and Jimmy, so that's $300 for their gi when you're first starting out. And then if they do pictures for the program, some places do pictures, some don't. You're looking at probably $25 to $50 depending on the packages that you get. Seminars run about $45 to $70 depending on if we have to drive up to Chicago or where it's located. So you have to kind of think about the cost of that. So for jiu-jitsu, for a year we were spending about $1,700. So that's for the fees every month, the gi, the first initial gi purchase, and then your pictures and any seminars. And then for dance, we spent about $1,600 a year for 2 kids. It's about $100 a month or so for their monthly fees. Then you've got about $50 for annual fees. Recital fees are about $150, and then recital tickets are about $20 to $30. It depends on what range and where we're having it that year. Costumes can be $200+, and that's for both the kids, buying the shoes and the hair stuff and the face paint or iron-ons, just ordering on dance companies online, different stuff like that. For Jiraiya, we did invest in dance accessories such as a dance bag, headbands, bows, just the little girly stuff. She's got like these little hand things she dances with, these tights, and just some different dance clothing. So Daniel, he just wants hats pretty much, and he wears whatever casual clothing. But dance is about $1,600. I mean, he can get up to $2,000 a year depending on what we're buying. So that's a cost. And then gymnastics ran us about $750 a year. Jiraiya was in, I think, level 1 gymnastics for about 12 weeks, and then the owner of the place was like, she is well past them, even though that was her first 12 weeks ever doing gymnastics. So they bumped her up to a level 3 class, so that bumped up the price. So we were paying about $65 a month. And Gymnastics gear, you have to think about purchasing that, so like her leotards, stuff like that. And then pictures, of course. Every sport is going to have pictures usually. So about $750 for gymnastics. Basketball is the cheapest sport. It's about $200 a year, but it's only about 10 weeks long. So $70 for one kid to play, $70, about $70 for shoes, and then $30 for the uniform if you don't already have a uniform. And then of course you can start adding up costs if they want specific socks or wristbands, or you know, sometimes the kids just start wanting different things. So you kind of gotta have an extra category, or at least I always do. And then baseball is about $1,100, and our season is about 10 weeks or so of baseball. Both the boys play, and just about $180 for the fee to sign them up. And then I take out about $500 for gear, for food, for extra cost, about $100 in concessions. If they do pictures, again, you're looking at $25 to $50, $60 for both. You know, you got to pay for both kids. And then extras in the beginning of the season. So like if your kid is starting around 5 or 6 years old and they're pretty much going to go throughout their years, I would purchase a tent, because on jamboree days or double headers, you're not going to want to be sitting out in the heat. So if you get one of them big tents, it can kind of protect you for a portion of the day. Of course, lawn chairs, you're going to want that if you don't want to sit on the bleachers, which your chiropractor will make a lot of money if you sit on the bleachers, because you'll be at the chiropractor every week. Blankets, of course, if you have smaller kids that just want to kind of sit out on a blanket and color or whatever. Coolers for food. If you don't want to take a big tent, you can take an umbrella. I mean, that stuff adds up, and you don't think about it your first year. You're just like so excited your kid's in a sport. You sign them up, and then all these other fees start accruing, and what you thought was going to cost you $60 a month for a little bit of time, or $100 initial sign up fee, ends up going into the thousands, and you're, you know, running around crazy because you don't have the money for it. So this video is just really trying to give the introductory parent a heads up on sports costs to come if you're just doing recreational sports. And like I said, if you're doing anything traveling or comps or anything like that, you probably want to triple whatever you budget. So those are just some things to think about when you're signing kids up for sports. And of course, if you're doing music can get really expensive. The instrument that they have to get, the monthly cost to pay for their lessons, if you decide to do private lessons. So I mean, it can add up, and I know a lot of people get super excited when their little baby boy is finally at age to play, you know, in the peanut league, and it's super exciting. But I just wanted to kind of give a heads up on the cost of things. And I did have some tips on what you can do to kind of keep the costs down. I would say start saving now, of course. Saving now for something later is always a better idea, no matter if you're talking about sports, a new car, you know, whatever you want to get big chunks of money. Like my kids for back to school, we spend a lot of money. And as soon as we spend the money around the July, August time, soon as September comes, I have to start saving for the previous year, because that number is really large with having 4 kids. So yeah, anything you know you're going to have to spend annually, I would just, every time you make that one first initial payment, I would start right back on the next paycheck saving for the following year to get, you know, whatever that is, to get it paid off. So some tips. You can start saving now. You can buy used equipment, which is great, especially if you know, if you're friends with other people like at church or wherever, and their kids are a couple years older, that's like the best thing, because you can ask them, hey, are you guys, when you guys get new equipment, can you pass it down to me, or I'll pay you a portion of, you know, if they're still in good condition. So buying used equipment is always a great idea. You can wait for sports stores to have their sales, of course, and then also you can shop at the end of the season. So yeah, you're coming out of pocket for something a year from now, but if you buy those, you know, baseball gloves or a new whatever, if you buy those things that you need for that sport at the end of the season, you're going to save a lot more money. You can sell all your gear from the last couple of years if you're going to do upgrades. And some sports have income-based discounts. So I know if you do anything probably with the park district, they're going to have some type of low income based discount that you can apply for. I think you have to bring your paycheck stubs or something like that. Check into stuff like that, because sometimes certain park districts have that. And then if you sign up early, I know for dance for Jariah and Daniel, if you sign up in August, you get a % off. So like we're paying $90 instead of like $100 or something per month because of me signing up early. Even though they don't start in September, you sign up about a month early and you get a discount. So yeah, that's kind of what all I had written down. So for our family, we spend about $5,500 to about $6,000 a year for different sports activities, and that's a nice chunk of change. Could you imagine saving that every year if you had no kids and you didn't have to pay? No, I'm just playing. You didn't have to pay for any sports, but yeah. So this is just supposed to be a quick video, but it's not. It's already 13 minutes in. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it helped in some way to help you guys kind of know what to expect as your child gets older. And of course, my kids haven't hit high school yet, so the cost of, you know, all the stuff that I'm paying now could be like a tad bit more because the jerseys are bigger and they do have an idea of brands. Like right now, my kids don't know what the best bat brand is. They don't really care. We go in there, we look at the specs on what the drop is supposed to be and what the length is supposed to be, and we get something. So once they get older and they realize, oh, I want to get this bat because blah blah, if they become a real sports head, which they're not, but I know a lot of kids love sports, so they want their favorite sports guys shoes or bats or whatever. It's going to be getting a lot more expensive than what we're spending now. So, and I'm sure at some point Jariah will be in some type of a dance comp program or dance competition or gymnastics meets or something like that as she gets older, and as we get a little bit more comfortable with her being away from us, and as her social skills kind of develop a lot more. So we will see. But I did want to just give my little 2 cents on, you know, kind of over the years how we have paid for sports and stuff like that. So I hope this helped you guys, and yeah, I will see you guys back here for another video. Bye.